Hey, this is Rich Knapp with Lynx Innovations and Common Joe Flyer videos. Today I'd like to do a couple reviews. Again, in the beginning here, I'll post the timestamps for where each one starts. The first one I'd like to start on is I picked up the new Goblin Case, and it's for the 500 and 570. My first impressions, very nice built. I really like, you know, the fabric, the padding. You know, it's got a really nice zipper on it, and also inside, let's see if you can get it in there and see. There's a very large pocket for, you know, whatever you want to put in there, part supplies, lipos. See if you can sneak your transmitter in there, whatever for. Very nice large pocket. Now, a 570 will fit in this also, 500 or 570. If you do a stretched 570, it will not fit. It's a smidge bit small, and the configuration for the style, for the shape of the Goblin, this is such a nice design and snug fit that the 570, it kind of brings the head a little bit too much to the front if you take the canopy off to fit the stretch in, where it won't really, my 570 stretch won't fit in it because the head is too far forward and it sits too high for the case. But my intent was, I have my case from my old 550X, I called Sam. I still have that Healy Guard case. This was for a new project coming up, which is a Goblin 500 build with a custom theme to it. Just kind of keep an eye out for that. That's going to be probably one of my best theme builds yet. It's going to take a lot to outdo what you're going to see pretty soon here. But yes, this Goblin, you can get this at Heli Direct. Everything Heli, and I know there's some other places out there that have it also, but them are the two places I've seen it on their sites for sale. It's a very reasonable price for the construction. It's very well constructed. The only downside is when I got mine, because of the way it has to be shipped, it's still kind of coming out yet. I need to you know, get it shaped so that it doesn't, you know, tip over and stuff. You know, it's just that, you know, at the seams, you know, it just needs to be you know, brought back out to memory. Not a big issue at all. I mean, it's common sense. If it's got to be folded to be shipped, it's going to need to be re-memorized, the material to the proper shape. But very good construction, well worth the money. I wouldn't even if I didn't have a Goblin, if I wanted to use it for a different, like a 500 size helicopter, it's a little bit big for 450 size, but for anything around that 500 size, it would be awesome carrying case for any helicopter. It doesn't have to be a Goblin, but if you don't mind the Goblin advertising. But yeah, a very good case, very well worth the money. I am very happy with it. From a Common Joe guy's view, I'd give this case, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 for the construction. And you know, for the layout with the pocket on the inside instead of on the outside, I'd give it a, you know, a 10 out of 10 on that, because my other case is on the outside, which is nice, but you can have things fall out and then you can lose them. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10 on that. The reshaping, because of shipping, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 on that. I mean, that's common sense though, but it would be nice if you didn't have to, you know, kind of put weight on it and stuff like that to get it to reshape. What I did is I laid a whole mess of 6S lipos on the inside to help reshape the bottom. And now I'll go ahead and I'll do the same thing. I'll lay it on its side like this, and I'll just lay a bunch of lipos on there to get that crease rememorized. But yeah, very good construction. The silk screening on it, or however they do it, it seems like it's a rubberized silk screen, but very good, and it's waterproof. Don't have to worry about your bird getting wet. You know, so if you're at the field, starts raining, throw your bird in here, zip it up, and you know your bird ain't going to get wet. Okay, let's move on. Again, from a common guy's eyes, I've bought another case, and I've had cases for all my helis, and getting a hard case for these bigger helis is, you know, it don't happen. This case right here, I would say is going to be just as good as a hard case. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, moving on. New timestamp. Okay, some of you guys have been following me along. My 570 build would have stretched to 600 millimeter blades. My review on the build, I loved the way everything went together. There was no, you know, trying to wiggle it to get it to fit. There was no having to do any customizing or, you know, shaving here, shaving there. I mean, everything fit beautiful. Everything from the Goblin parts all the way through the Lynx parts that were designed for the 570, everything fit like a glove. It's beautiful. I'm very happy with this. I'm just itching to get out for spring because it's still winter here. We're just starting to we're getting more snow, but I'm just itching to get back out there and flying because this thing just went together. It's like everything is so tight and so precise. I mean, it's like I'm glad I went with the Goblin 570 and did this build. I really am. You know, I can see where some of the more experienced pilots say, if you don't have the money and you buy cheap, if you can fly, it's okay. You know, if you can afford to get something nicer, they say that additional attention to detail makes the bird fly better and you crash less. Doing this build, I can see where that would come into play. Everything was just spot on. Now, in this build, and I'll be doing reviews on these things later as I fly and have it, get the experience with it. What I did in this build is I went to BK 7001 Cyclics. I went with the mini tail with the full-size top case. I did go with the Saab servo link arms, or servo arms, for a couple of reasons. One, it's designed for the bird. Two, the holes are labeled for the distance from the mounting bolt for the spline. It's like, if they're designed for it, I'm going to do that route. And they got really good reviews. It's a hard plastic, but it's also a different style of plastic. It's hard to explain. I have no idea what you call that plastic, but it's a type where it's real strong but not brittle. Alright, I went with the Quantum 4125 1100 kV. They just brought this out in March of 2014, and it's gotten really good reviews. It kind of replaced the other Quantum for the 6S setups, and this one's gotten good reviews. A good friend of mine that I met at IRCHA and become friends with him and his dad, Justin Cook, he flew his 570 with this motor on 6S, and he just killed the snot out of that thing. And when it came down, I could touch the motor. It wasn't so hot. It was like, you know, I was burning my fingers. Yes, it was warm. I mean, it's an electric motor. You know, it was warm. It wasn't cold. But I was very impressed with it. You know, as a common guy and a sport flyer, if it can handle what Justin was doing on 6S with his 570, it's going to handle how I fly, because I'm just a sports flyer. It'll handle my style, and being stretched to the 600 millimeters, it'll handle that no problem. The BK servos, they were warm to the touch, but they were not hot when Justin landed, because I was honored to be able to spot him and able to feel all his stuff when he took the canopy off, unplugged the battery. I was able to, you know, touch everything and see how warm it got. On this build, I have the Castle Creations 130 on here, the Edge 130. Now I'm going to have to watch my watt when I set up my Demon, which I'll get to. I'm going to have to watch my watt draw. The 130 will handle over a little over 3,000 watts draw. But now with it being stretched to 600, I went with the Zeal blades, and they have a lot wider cord on them. So my watt draw might be a little bit higher, where if I want to stay with the Zeal blades, I might have to drop to the 570 blades. But we'll find that out on my setup flights for the Demon. And in that, yes, I went with the Bavarian Demon. By the way, there'll be a review on the servos and the motor through Common Joe Eyes after I get flying a few flights on it. I'm not going to do any reviews until I actually have some flights on it. The Demon, this is the one that was on my 550X, so I know I did a review on that earlier, I think. I just love it all to heck. I would have went with the Spartan 1E on here, but because of my situation with my MS and stuff, and my doctor knows MS, or I mean, he knows RC helicopters. He told me that anything over the 450 size, he would like to see me have the Demon on it in case Tammy has to land my birds. So I went with put my Demon on here off my 550X, and I went with the dual satellites, and I'm gonna run a. Whoop! I've got it in the closet. I'm going to run a 2-cell 1800 milliamp battery for my RX pack. That'll kind of alleviate, you know, some extra draw off the speed controller, and you know, kind of give it a little bit of a break where it doesn't have to worry about providing power to the, you know, for the servos or the BEC drawing power off the speed controller. So that'll kind of give me a little bit of wiggle room there. The Zeal blades, new timestamp. The Zeal blades, I was very impressed with the way they came in. I checked the balance on them. The tail blades and the main blades both were perfectly balanced and perfect CG on them. I really like the looks of them. The underside has the Zeal logo. Don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. You should be able to. There. Now the Zeal logo, is that right side up for you guys? Yep, that's right side up. Okay, that Zeal logo is actually a metallic paint, and I'm really gonna be interested in how that looks in the air when I go flip inverted, or when I'm flying upright and stuff. But I'm really interested in how that's gonna look. With it being the metallic, then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be happy. I might get some good shine off of it for the dish. And obviously with the red on the top, red and white on the top, it's going to be excellent for the dish for seeing it also. And alright, now all my Lynx parts on here, I think I already did a review on them. I'll just touch base with it again. Now my goal here was obviously going with the Bavarian Demon theme, red and black. I went with all these Lynx parts. Well, yeah, I'm with Lynx, but also to match my theme. Lynx was the only one that would make these parts in Red Devil, and the review on them from other people for this bird was outstanding, so I went that route. I went with the DFC arms. I've loved DFC, even running low head RPM. I've loved the way the DFC works for me, and it makes it so much cleaner when you flip sideways and just line your arms up, it just makes it so much cleaner when you have a wraparound canopy for putting your canopy on and bypassing those arms. No, nothing is tight on here yet because of winter. I don't store my birds with everything tightened up through the winter. Alright, and then I went with the swash, the Red Devil swash. It went on like a glove, everything lined up. Ball links were nice and tight, just like the stock swash. This one is rebuildable for when I have to rebuild it. And let's see, moving down, I went with the Lynx main gear. It's self-lubricating, it's got a good reputation for durability. There'll be a review on that after I fly it more and everything. Well, actually all of this stuff. And then, okay, sliding over, I went with the Lynx landing skids and landing skid mounts. Okay, the stretch kit, so I can run my 600mm blades. Which the stretch kit, you can go up to 620 if you run a narrower cord or you're running 12S. Okay, and I went with, you know, the bell crank arm, pitch slider. I went with all of that in Lynx. I did install my 21T tail pulley because my goal is to run 2135, I think it is, the max I can run, where I still have the headroom for the governor. And that'll be my max flight, so I did, or head speed, so I did go to the 21 tail pulley. I put that on the other day. And, oh, I think I touched it all here. Well, I did go with the, I can't remember these guys' brand again. T-Max or whatever it's called. I can't read my glasses. My new glasses aren't in yet. I did go with them for the canopy pins. They're really nice, a good lock. You can hang on to them, you know, for spreading your canopy to put it on. It works really good for that. They got a good reputation for being solid. I'm gonna go with the Saab quick release on this custom 500 build for their clean, sleek look. I don't see any issues with it the way I put my canopies on. I'll give a review on all that stuff down the road also. But and keep your eyes open for that build. That's going to be another theme build just like this, but it's going to be a Goblin 500. I decided to do another one because doing this one and seeing the precision to it, I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm pretty sure I am not going to be disappointed in it. You know, as a common flyer, the boom, you know, guys talk about, you know, price. Well, you take your boom. This is everything integrated. You know, if you have a crash and you lose the boom or the Goblin, it snaps off here, and you got to replace your nylon nuts and maybe some, you know, something down here, maybe something down here, but the main boom and stuff will come off. If you add up boom supports, you know, the boom, either the belt system or the torque tube, you add all of that up into what's integrated into this boom, and it's pretty much the same price. It's just that you're only buying one item instead of all the others. So in my eyes, it's like, it's a wash. So this bird isn't any more expensive to maintain or rebuild in a crash than some of the other ones. Yes, some of the other ones, yeah, it's going to be cheaper because the parts are cheaper and maybe not as many parts as are. I don't know. I'll let you guys know more on that later. In a common guy's eyes, if, you know, going up this high in value balances out to what you might possibly have to spend for a crash. Now, I don't plan on crashing my birds, but it happens. Crap happens. We all know it. You can have the world's best helicopter, and crap happens. If you buy a helicopter and don't plan on crashing it, you're in la la land. Everybody crashes. Something happens. It'll be a shame if, you know, this gets destroyed to the point that I can't rebuild it, but that'd be a shame, but hopefully it won't happen. The bigger they are, the better they fly. The old saying, go as big as you can afford. That saying holds true, because the bigger they are, the better they fly, the easier they fly. Not everybody has to fly smack. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go here. I just got, sorry about that. Yes, keep your eye open. I'm doing another custom theme built Goblin 500. But that was my common Joe feelings on everything. Everything on this build, from the reputation to the build itself, I'd have to give everything a 10 out of 10. Everything went great. Now it's just up to flying it. Until next time, happy flying.